One of the questions we've been asking ourselves probably for as long as there have been human beings is, why is there evil in the world? And why do bad things keep happening to good people? There are many answers to that, probably as many as there are philosophies in the world, but one piece of the puzzle comes from ancient India in a concept that we also often mention here in the West. K is for karma. I have heard the word karma used in casual conversation quite a few times. For example, when there is a clear injustice happening, we will say that karma will take care of it. Or when poetic justice comes swiftly, like when somebody is driving too fast and then gets into an accident, we could call that karma. It feels like it's a just punishment for something somebody did wrong, but what does it really mean? Karma is a word from the ancient Sanskrit language, and it's a concept in many of the religions of the Indian subcontinent, like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It is a principle of cause and effect, where the action somebody takes and the intention behind that action will have an effect later on in their lives, maybe in this lifetime or maybe in a following reincarnation. The actions that we take and the emotions and intentions that go with it stay with us and affect what happens to us in the future. If somebody has accumulated a lot of bad karma in a previous lifetime, they may have to work through that and through the effects of that now. And that is one way of explaining why bad things happen to good people. It's important to remember, though, that the Indian concept is not seen as a punishment. It's not a way for the gods to punish you for what you have done in the past. It's more a natural consequence, like when you punch a wall, you will hurt your fist. It's a thing of natural law. I think karma has similarities to a concept in the Western mystery traditions that is called the law of return, or the rule of three. That states that any energy that you put out returns to you threefold. That is especially applicable to when you're doing magic, but it goes for other things as well, where anything positive that you put out into the world, like any kindness you do for people, will come back to you, and any negativity that you put out will come back to haunt you as well. There are many theories about why there is evil in the world and why bad things happen to good people, and none of them give a straightforward or complete answer. I think it's a mystery that will stay with us for as long as we are around. I do believe that the things that we put out into the world come back to us. Our ways of acting and thinking will have an effect on how we see ourselves, how we interact with the world, and that in its turn will have an effect on the things that happen to us. For example, when you carry around the belief that people can't be trusted until they prove they are trustworthy, then you will live in a world full of untrustworthy people. And it's much easier for yourself and for your mental health to believe the opposite. Also, when you keep taking certain actions in life that you are generally not happy with, for example, you keep getting irrationally angry with your spouse, or you keep being horrible to the people you work with, then eventually you will remember those things and they become the way you see yourself. It could make you feel guilty or give you a certain self-image that then affects what you will do next, and that ripples out into the rest of your life. When I think of influence that reaches beyond our lifetime, I don't think of reincarnation so much. I prefer to think of the influence that our ancestors have on us and of the effects we will have on our descendants. The way our parents brought us up and their parents brought them up has a profound effect on the kind of persons that we become and the way we relate to the world. But also we know from genetics that there is a complicated array of things that we inherit from our parents, from personality traits to the way we look, and many things that we didn't even think were genetic a few decades ago. More recently, scientists have also discovered things about epigenetics, which is about traumas that happens to a person that changes their DNA slightly, and then the effect of that trauma gets passed on to the next generation. So our ancestors very much influence us, and we very much have an influence on what comes after us and the world that people will inherit from us in the future. Many things affect our life force and the way it flows through us. It's affected by the things that we do, the people we interact with, the genes we have inherited, and the circumstances we find ourselves in. And in turn, the flow of our life force affects the rest of our lives, and those things have ripples beyond our lifetimes. Whether you call it karma or just good energetic hygiene, it's a good idea to have an awareness of how our life force affects others around us, and to be as generous and kind to each other and to ourselves as we can. Or, as Bill and Ted would have it, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. What do you think about karma? Do you use that word yourself? Do you think about how you affect the people around you with the way you act and the intentions behind your actions? And do you think those effects ripple out beyond your lifetime? I'd be very interested to hear your opinion. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, click like. Subscribe if you want to see more of the Alphabet Superset of Druidry. Meanwhile, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week for the L for Light Body.